Welcome to Vindal's Concept. We are going into physics, and this topic is the questions of motion under gravity, and this is part 1. And we are going to be running this series, which is going to be targeted for WAEC IGCS students and other undergraduate students. Now the question says an object above, this is the object R, leaves a platform from X to Y is the platform with a horizontal velocity of 7 meters per second and lands at this point Q. If it takes the same object 0.3 seconds to fall freely from Y to P, calculate the distance PQ. If you look at this question, it has a horizontal velocity. So, like I always say, there are 3 kinds of velocities. The one we call vertical component, and then the one of horizontal component, and the one we call the resultant speed. Now, but the issue is that the body was not thrown vertically upward. So I'm going to say that Vy, which is the upward speed, which is called the vertical component, is going to be 0. Then there is a velocity which I have given as V sub x. And that one is Vx, which is called the horizontal component, is given as 7 meters per second. Now, one other thing you must understand is that the time it takes to go from Y, from this point Y, down to this P, is given as 3 seconds. It is the same time it will take to go from Y all the way to Q. So that same time is there. However, our intention is to find from P to Q, which is called the horizontal distance. So I'm going to use S sub x, which is called the horizontal distance, is equal to the horizontal velocity, which is V sub x, multiplied by the time it takes to go from the top xy to the point it hits on the ground Q. So I'm going to call it YQ. So the time it takes to go from Y to Q is given as 3 seconds. While the velocity it is using to move in the horizontal direction is 7 meters per second. Therefore, the distance from P to Q, which I call as x sub x, is something as saying 7 multiplied by 0.3, and the answer is going to be 0. No, it's not 0. It's going to be 2.1 seconds. So it's going to be 2.1 meters because it is for a horizontal component. So this is for part 1. Thank you for being part of this lesson. You can always like, share, and subscribe and comment. Thank you.